Imagine a typical morning in modern America. The alarm clock rings before the sun has even risen, a shrill sound pulling someone out of a restless sleep. They reach for their phone, not for comfort, but out of habit. The screen lights up with a flood of notifications, emails from work sent overnight, texts from family, headlines filled with tragedy and politics, a calendar already packed with back-to-back commitments. Even before their feet touch the floor, stress has already claimed the day. This scene is not unusual. It is the silent reality for millions. From the moment we wake up, our minds are already sprinting, chasing tasks, calculating time, planning responses. Breakfast is eaten quickly, often not even noticed. The coffee, hot and bitter, is swallowed as fuel, not savored as nourishment. The commute becomes another battlefield. Traffic jams, honking horns, a podcast playing at double speed to make use of wasted time. The body may be in the car, but the mind is already at the office, already carrying the weight of problems yet to unfold. Stress for many is not an occasional visitor. It has become a permanent resident. We tell ourselves that it is normal, that everyone is busy, that feeling overwhelmed is simply the price of survival in a competitive world. But deep inside, something aches. The body feels heavy. Sleep never seems enough. The heart races without reason. At night, even in bed, the mind refuses to rest. It replays the day, predicts the future, and whispers the cruel question, will you ever catch up? This endless cycle drains not only energy, but also the spirit. And yet, we rarely pause to ask, what is stress really costing us? Not just in dollars spent on medication or therapy, not just in hours of lost sleep, but in the slow erosion of joy. The small moments that could have been beautiful, watching a child laugh, feeling the warmth of sunlight, tasting the sweetness of fruit, are stolen by a restless mind. It is as if life itself is slipping away, moment by moment, unnoticed. Imagine walking through a garden, but never seeing the flowers because your eyes are fixed only on the path ahead. That is how stress blinds us. But what if there was another way? What if relief did not require us to quit our jobs, move to the mountains, or escape society? What if peace was not something distant, but hidden within the very moments we are already living? This is where the ancient wisdom of mindfulness enters, not as a foreign ritual, but as a gentle reminder of something we have always known. Mindfulness is not about becoming a different person or forcing the mind to stop thinking. It is about learning to truly arrive in the present moment. It is the art of noticing, of being awake, of seeing what is already here without being lost in the storm of thoughts. The Buddha, long before smartphones and traffic, understood this storm. He saw that the human mind, left unchecked, jumps from one desire to another, one fear to the next, like a restless monkey swinging from branch to branch. Stress is not new. Only its costumes have changed. What was once the worry of survival has become the worry of deadlines, bills, and inboxes. But the core suffering is the same. The mind trapped in a constant chase. The practice of mindfulness offers a radical alternative. It says, stop running, breathe, look around. For a moment, let the present be enough. This sounds simple, and it is. But simplicity is not weakness, it is power. Think of the last time you were fully present, maybe watching the ocean waves, maybe holding the hand of someone you love, maybe listening to music that touched your soul. In that moment, stress dissolved, not because the problems disappeared, but because you were truly there. The present moment has its own medicine. One deep breath can anchor us back into our body. One conscious step can remind us that we are alive. One sip of tea, truly tasted, can break the illusion that happiness is always somewhere else. Mindfulness is not about rejecting life's responsibilities. The bills must still be paid, the meetings still attended, but it changes the way we meet them. Instead of being dragged by stress, we learn to walk with awareness. Instead of reacting blindly, we respond with clarity. It is like turning on a light in a dark room. The furniture is the same, but now we can move without stumbling. Of course, the skeptical mind might protest. Breathing cannot fix my problems. Awareness cannot erase my debts. That is true. Mindfulness does not remove life's challenges. What it removes is the unnecessary suffering we add on top, the mental replay, the constant worry, the harsh self-criticism. Stress multiplies because we fight reality, demanding it to be other than it is. Mindfulness softens that fight. It invites us to see clearly, to accept this moment as it is, and from that place of calm, to act wisely. Imagine a firefighter entering a burning house. If they panic, they are consumed by the flames. If they breathe, stay steady, and see clearly, they can act to save lives. In the same way, mindfulness does not erase the fire of stress, but it gives us the strength to face it without being consumed. Each of us can begin this practice in the simplest way, by noticing one breath. Right now, as you hear these words, you can pause. Feel the air enter your nose. Feel your chest rise. Feel the exhale soften your body. For this one breath, there is nothing to fix, nothing to chase. There is only life happening now. And in that now, there is peace. Stress thrives when we live everywhere except here. It loses power when we return to this moment. This is not philosophy. It is practice. And the more we practice, the more life begins to feel spacious, manageable, even sacred. The storm may continue outside, but inside, we discover a quiet center, like the eye of a hurricane. That quiet center has always been there. We only need to remember. And so, the invitation is simple. The next time stress rises, do not run faster. Pause, breathe, notice. This small act is the doorway to freedom. And the journey has only just begun. Let us go deeper. Stress often feels like a storm we cannot escape, but mindfulness teaches us something profound. Even in the middle of the storm, there is a place of calm. This calm is not somewhere far away, it is within us. The challenge is not to create peace, but to remember it. And the way we remember is through practice. Practice does not mean locking yourself away in a temple or sitting cross-legged for hours. It begins with the smallest of moments. Take eating, for example. Most of us eat while scrolling on our phones, watching TV, or thinking about the next task. We barely taste our food. Mindfulness invites us to try differently. Imagine holding a piece of fruit. Notice its color, its texture. Take a slow bite. Feel the sweetness, the juiciness, the life energy inside it. For that brief moment, the racing mind quiets. The simple act of eating becomes a meditation, a doorway to peace. Walking can also be transformed. Normally, we rush from one place to another, mind already at the destination. But what if, just for a few steps, we walk only to walk? Feel your feet touch the ground. Notice the rhythm of each step, the subtle shift of balance. Suddenly, a sidewalk becomes a sacred path. Stress softens because the mind is no longer scattered. It has returned home to the body. Even the ordinary act of breathing can change everything. When you feel overwhelmed, place one hand on your chest, the other on your belly, and simply breathe. Inhale gently, exhale slowly. With each breath, imagine releasing a little tension. With each exhale, the shoulders drop, the jaw softens, the heart opens. You may not solve every problem in that moment, but you reclaim something more valuable, your presence. And presence is the soil where wisdom grows. At work, stress often feels unavoidable. Deadlines, expectations, competition, they seem endless. Yet mindfulness can shift the way we face them. Before answering a stressful email, pause for one conscious breath. This tiny pause breaks the chain of reactivity. Instead of replying with anger or fear, you create space for clarity. Instead of being dragged by the emotion, you choose how to respond. Over time, these small pauses accumulate, and your relationship with stress changes. The problems may remain, but you are no longer enslaved by them. In relationships, stress can be amplified. A careless word, a forgotten chore, an unresolved argument, these ignite tension. But mindfulness here means listening deeply, without rehearsing your reply, without judgment. It means seeing not just the words spoken, but the suffering behind them. When someone is angry, often it is pain speaking. If we can pause, breathe, and listen with compassion, we create a space where healing can happen. Mindfulness is not only for the self, it is a gift we give to others. Asterisk technology, too, can either magnify stress or become a tool for awareness. How often do we reach for our phones without thinking, scrolling endlessly? What if we use that very moment as a reminder? Each time you pick up your phone, pause for one breath. Ask yourself, what am I seeking right now? Sometimes it is distraction, sometimes comfort, sometimes connection. By noticing, you reclaim your power. Instead of being pulled unconsciously, you choose consciously. That is mindfulness in action. There is a story told in Buddhist tradition of a man shot by an arrow. Instead of removing the arrow, he demands to know who shot it, what the bow was made of, what direction it came from. By the time his questions are answered, he has already died. Stress is like that arrow. We often analyze it endlessly. Why am I stressed? Who caused it? What will happen if it continues? Yet forget the most important step, to gently remove it. Mindfulness is the removal. It does not require complex theories. Begin simply, be here. But let us be honest, mindfulness is not always easy. The mind will wander. Old habits will return. Sometimes you will forget for hours, even days. This is natural. The practice is not about perfection. It is about beginning again. Each breath is a chance to return. Each step is an invitation to come home. You cannot fail, because every moment is a fresh opportunity. And something remarkable happens when you continue. Stress loses its absolute power. You begin to notice that it rises and falls, like waves. You realize you are not the wave, you are the ocean. The wave may be strong, but the ocean is vast. This recognition brings strength. You may still feel stress, but you no longer drown in it. You can hold it, breathe with it, and let it pass. In this way, mindfulness is not escape, it is engagement. It is learning to meet life exactly where it is, without running away and without clinging. And as you practice, a subtle joy begins to emerge. Not the excitement of achievement, not the thrill of distraction, but a quiet joy, steady and gentle, like the warmth of sunlight on your skin. This joy is not dependent on external success. It is already within you, revealed when stress no longer clouds your vision. So the invitation is simple. Begin with one moment today, one breath before your next meeting, one mindful bite at your next meal, one conscious step on your way home. These are not small things. They are the seeds of transformation. From these seeds, a different way of living can grow away, where stress does not control you, where presence becomes your anchor, and where peace is no longer a distant dream, but a daily experience. And as this first chapter closes, remember, stress may be a constant voice in the modern world, but it does not have to define you. Beneath the noise, there is stillness. Beneath the storm, there is calm. And the key to finding it is already in your hands, hidden in the very breath you are taking right now. Picture this. The monthly bills arrive like clockwork. The rent or mortgage, the car payment, electricity, water, internet, phone, credit cards. Each envelope or notification carries its own weight, a silent reminder that survival has a price tag. For many, the moment of opening these bills is filled with a tightening in the chest. A paycheck arrives, and almost before it touches the bank account, it is already spoken for. Food, gas, insurance, what remains is little, sometimes nothing. The constant question echoes in the mind, will it ever be enough? This anxiety is not reserved for those struggling at the bottom. Even those with stable incomes, even those society would call successful, carry the same invisible burden. The bigger the paycheck, often the bigger the house, the newer the car, the longer the list of expenses. Lifestyle rises to match income, and the worry never truly leaves. It shifts its shape, but remains the same. Insecurity about the future. In America, the land of opportunity, money is often equated with safety, with freedom, with dignity. Without it, the fear of losing everything: home, healthcare, education, even basic respect haunts people. And because of this, many live in a constant state of quiet panic, even while appearing calm on the surface. Nights are spent running numbers in the mind. If I save this much, if I invest here, if I work overtime, maybe it will be enough. But enough is a moving target. As soon as it is reached, it shifts again. The pursuit of financial security, while necessary to some degree, often becomes a trap. We tell ourselves, once I make this amount, then I'll relax. But when that goal is reached, another appears. The finish line always moves. It is like chasing the horizon. You can walk forever, but you will never arrive. And so, stress grows deeper. Even moments of success feel hollow, because the fear of loss whispers in the background. This is not to say money is unimportant. Shelter, food, healthcare, these are real needs. Poverty is not romantic, and financial struggle is painful. But the question is, do we allow money to control not only our survival, but our sense of peace? Do we place our entire happiness on numbers in an account, on a future that is never guaranteed? Here's where ancient wisdom offers another way of seeing. The Buddha taught the truth of impermanence, that nothing, not even wealth, lasts forever. Empires rise and fall. Stock markets boom and crash. Fortunes are made and lost overnight. If we tie our inner stability to these shifting sands, how can we ever feel secure? Impermanence is not meant to frighten us, but to free us. It reminds us that clinging only creates suffering. The more tightly we grip money, the more we live in fear of losing it. Consider the image of trying to hold water in your hands. The harder you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. But if you cup your hands gently, the water rests there for a while. Money is like that. If we cling with desperation, it causes stress. If we hold it lightly, using it as a tool rather than an identity, it can serve its purpose without enslaving us. Think of a child playing with toys. At first, they are filled with joy, but soon they want more, bigger, newer. The happiness fades because it was based on possession, not presence. As adults, our toys become houses, cars, gadgets, bank balances. A cycle is the same. We seek fulfillment in accumulation, but fulfillment slips away. The mind whispers, just a little more, and a little more never ends. Mindfulness invites us to pause and ask, what is enough? Enough does not mean abundance, nor does it mean scarcity. Enough is when our needs are met, and our hearts are not enslaved by endless desire. Enough is a sense of sufficiency, a contentment that arises not from what we own, but from how we see. Imagine this experiment. Write down every expense that truly sustains your life: food, shelter, health, connection. Then compare it with the expenses driven by comparison, by the need to appear successful, by fear of not fitting in. Often, we find that a large portion of our stress comes not from survival, but from wanting to keep up with an image. The Buddha called this craving. And craving, he said, is the root of suffering. The solution is not to renounce all possessions, but to recognize craving for what it is. When we see clearly, we can choose. Do I really need this? Or is it just another attempt to fill a bottomless hole? Do I want this because it brings real value, or because I fear being less without it? These questions, asked gently and honestly, can dissolve much of the pressure money holds over us. True wealth is not measured only in dollars. It is measured in freedom. The freedom to rest without fear. The freedom to enjoy a meal without guilt. The freedom to spend time with loved ones without the constant shadow of not enough. Ironically, this kind of wealth does not always come from having more, but from needing less. We live in a culture that glorifies accumulation, but ancient wisdom glorifies simplicity. Not poverty, but simplicity. Simplicity does not mean deprivation. It means clarity about what truly matters. When we see clearly, we realize that some of the richest experiences, laughter, love, nature, stillness, cost nothing. And yet, they nourish us more deeply than any purchase ever could. So the invitation here is not to ignore money, but to shift our relationship with it. To see money as a servant, not a master. To learn sufficiency, gratitude, and balance. To remember that peace cannot be bought, but it can be cultivated. And when we cultivate it, no market crash can take it away. This is the first step toward financial freedom, not necessarily freedom from all bills or responsibilities, but freedom from the chains of endless craving. A freedom that says, I have enough, I am enough, in this moment. And from that place, decisions about money become clearer, less driven by fear, more aligned with what truly supports life. As this part closes, consider this. Wealth may rise and fall, but peace of mind is priceless. You can begin today with one breath, one choice, one shift in perspective. In the next part, we will look more deeply into how impermanence and gratitude can reshape our daily experience with money, turning fear into trust and anxiety into ease. If we look honestly, money anxiety is not only about survival, it is also about control. We believe that if we have enough, we can control life, secure the future, protect against loss, guarantee happiness. Yet life, by its very nature, refuses to be controlled. Accidents happen. Economies shift. Health changes overnight. This is the truth of impermanence. Everything rises, everything falls. Nothing remains the same. At first glance, this can feel terrifying. The mind protests. If nothing is stable, how can I ever feel safe? But within this truth lies a hidden gift. Impermanence means that our struggles, too, are not permanent. Debt can change. Circumstances can shift. Fear does not last forever. The river of life is always moving. When we stop fighting this flow, we find relief. Think of autumn leaves falling. If you cling to the branch, you resist nature. But if you accept the season, you see beauty in the very falling. Money, like leaves, comes and goes. We work, we earn, we spend, we save. Some seasons are abundant, some are lean. To demand endless abundance is to resist reality. To flow with the seasons is to live in harmony with life itself. But how do we live this truth in a practical way? One path is gratitude. Gratitude shifts the mind from scarcity to sufficiency. Each morning, instead of immediately worrying about what you lack, pause and notice what is already here. A roof above your head, food on your table, clean water to drink, air to breathe. These are not small things. They are miracles we often overlook. Gratitude does not erase bills, but it lightens the heart, allowing us to meet challenges with more strength and less fear. Try this. Before paying a bill, instead of resenting it, pause and thank what it represents. The electricity bill means you had light and warmth. The grocery bill means you and your family ate nourishing food. Even taxes, disliked as they are, mean that you are contributing to a society that provides roads, schools, safety. By shifting from resentment to appreciation, money becomes less of an enemy and more of a teacher. Another practice is generosity. This may seem counterintuitive. How can I give when I am already worried about not having enough? But generosity is not only about large sums. It can be as simple as offering a kind word, a meal, or a small donation. Generosity loosens the grip of fear. It teaches us that abundance is not only measured by what we keep, but by what flows through us. When we give, we experience directly that happiness grows not by holding tighter, but by opening the hand. In Buddhist teaching, wealth is not condemned, but clinging to it is. Money itself is neutral. It is a tool, like fire. Fire can cook a meal or burn a house. Money can nourish life or consume it. The difference lies in how we relate to it. If money is used with awareness, guided by compassion and wisdom, it supports freedom. If it is chased blindly, fueled by craving, it creates suffering. So how do we know if we are clinging or holding lightly? Ask yourself, when you think about money, do you feel tightness, fear, endless grasping? Or do you feel balance, clarity, and enough? This inner posture matters more than the actual amount in your bank account. There are poor people who feel rich in spirit, and wealthy people who live in constant poverty of the heart. Mindfulness helps us see this clearly. When financial anxiety arises, instead of letting it spiral, pause. Notice the sensations in your body, the tightening stomach, the racing thoughts. Then breathe. Recognize, this is fear. This is craving. This is impermanence. By naming it, you separate from it. The thought is not you. It is only a passing wave. With practice, these waves lose their power. Another way is to practice contentment deliberately. In a world that constantly tells us we need more newer phones, bigger houses, faster cars, contentment is a radical act. It is saying, what I have now is enough. This does not mean you stop working or dreaming. It means you no longer let those dreams rob you of peace today. Contentment is not the enemy of growth. It is the ground from which healthy growth arises. Imagine tending a garden. If you water and care for it with patience, plants grow naturally. But if you obsess, pulling at the stems, demanding they grow faster, you only cause harm. Our financial life is the same. With mindfulness, we care for it patiently, wisely, without obsession. Growth will come in its season. Gratitude, generosity, mindfulness, and contentment, these are the four pillars that transform our relationship with money. Together, they dissolve the endless hunger of craving and replace it with trust. Trust not in numbers, but in life's flow. Trust that just as each inhale is followed by an exhale, each season of difficulty carries the seed of renewal. None of this means life will be free of challenges. Bills will still come. Unexpected expenses will still arise. But the difference is this: you will face them with a heart that is steady, not frantic. You will know that your worth is not defined by your balance sheet, but by your awareness, compassion, and presence. And slowly, something shifts. Money anxiety no longer dominates every thought. You begin to see moments of joy, even in simple things: a shared meal, a walk in the park, a quiet evening. You realize that real wealth has been with you all along. The capacity to be present, to love, to breathe, to live. So the invitation is clear. Begin with gratitude for what you already have. Practice generosity, even in small ways. Hold money like water in open hands. Remember impermanence and let it free you from clinging. And above all, trust that enough is already here. As we leave this chapter, carry this thought: financial security is never absolute, but inner security is always available. When the mind rests in gratitude and the heart is free from endless craving, money becomes what it was always meant to be, a servant, not a master. And in the next chapter, we will turn to another source of stress, the turbulence of human relationships, where love, conflict, and loneliness often collide. There, too, mindfulness and compassion can open a new way forward. Think for a moment about the people closest to you: family, partner, friends, co-workers. These are the people who shape the texture of your life. And yet, how often do these very relationships become a source of stress, conflict, even heartbreak? A parent works long hours to provide for their children, but when they finally come home exhausted, they snap at small things. The child withdraws, hurt by words that were never meant to wound. A couple who once promised forever now sit across the dinner table in silence, scrolling their phones, the warmth of early love replaced by distance. Friends drift apart, not because of hatred, but because life's busyness steals the time once shared. At work, colleagues misinterpret each other's intentions, turning small misunderstandings into lasting resentments. In all these moments, the same hunger is present, a hunger to be seen, understood, and loved. Yet the same wound repeats, the pain of feeling unseen, misunderstood, unloved. This is one of the deepest paradoxes of human life. We long for connection more than almost anything else, but our attempts to connect often end in disappointment. Why does this happen? Because we carry our own pain and fears into every relationship. The stress of work, the anxiety about money, the scars of childhood, all these become invisible baggage we bring to the table. When another person says or does something we don't like, it touches that baggage, and we react not only to them, but to all the old wounds inside us. They, in turn, react from their own pain. And so, two people who both desire love end up clashing, each locked in their own fortress of misunderstanding. Loneliness grows even within togetherness. You can sleep in the same bed as someone and still feel utterly alone. You can have hundreds of friends online and still feel no one truly knows you. This loneliness cuts deeper than being physically alone. It is the loneliness of being unseen. When we are hurt, the natural impulse is to protect ourselves. We build walls, withdraw, or fight back. But walls also block love from entering. We become islands, isolated and defensive, convinced that others are the problem. Yet if we look more deeply, we see that the true barrier is our inability to understand and be understood. The Buddha once said, "Understanding is the other name of love." To love someone is not merely to feel affection, but to truly see their suffering, their fears, their humanity. When we see clearly, compassion naturally arises. We no longer see an enemy or a burden. We see a human being, just like us, carrying pain, longing for happiness, often clumsy in expressing it. Imagine a friend who suddenly snaps at you. Your first instinct may be to snap back, to defend yourself. But if you pause and ask, what suffering might be driving their words? Suddenly the whole scene shifts. Perhaps they are carrying stress from home. Perhaps they feel unseen in their own life. Their anger is not about you. It is about their pain. When you see this, compassion arises. You may still feel hurt, but you no longer add fuel to the fire. This does not mean tolerating abuse or denying your own feelings. Compassion is not weakness. It is clarity. It allows us to respond wisely rather than react blindly. It gives us the strength to set boundaries without hatred, to forgive without forgetting our own dignity. But how do we cultivate this understanding? The practice begins with listening deep, genuine listening. Not listening while planning your reply. Not listening with judgment. Just listening to hear. When someone speaks, hear not only the words, but the emotions beneath. Often, people do not even know how to express what they truly feel. They use anger, sarcasm, silence. But beneath those rough surfaces is a longing. Please understand me. Please see me. Please love me. Asterisk, to listen like this requires patience and presence. It means putting aside your own agenda for a while. It means being fully there. And the miracle is this: when someone feels truly heard, healing begins. Tension softens. Hearts open. Connection becomes possible again. The same applies inwardly. Before we can offer understanding to others, we must first listen to ourselves. Many of our conflicts arise because we are disconnected from our own feelings. We suppress sadness, deny fear, ignore exhaustion. Then we project that unresolved storm onto others. Self-compassion, pausing to acknowledge our own suffering without judgment, is the foundation of compassion for others. When we learn to listen inwardly, we stop demanding others to carry what we have neglected within ourselves. In today's world, where speed and efficiency are worshipped, relationships often suffer. We give our best energy to work, to technology, to survival, leaving only fragments for those we love most. But relationships, like gardens, cannot thrive on neglect. They need watering time, attention, care. Without mindfulness, we forget this until it is too late. With mindfulness, even a few moments of genuine presence can nurture a bond deeply. Imagine sitting with your partner or child, putting the phone away, and simply being there. No multitasking, no half attention. Just eye contact, gentle words, and full listening. In those moments, love becomes tangible. Stress dissolves. The relationship breathes again. This is not complicated. It does not require degrees in psychology or grand gestures. It requires presence. And presence is available to each of us, here and now, in the simple act of listening, of seeing, of being willing to step out of our own fortress. As this first part of the chapter closes, remember, relationships are both fragile and resilient. They break easily under neglect, but they can also heal with understanding. The pain of loneliness, conflict, and distance is real, but so is the possibility of reconnection. And that possibility begins with compassion, with the courage to see beyond our own pain and to recognize the shared humanity in the person before us. In the next part, we will explore practical ways to cultivate this compassion daily through mindfulness in communication, through forgiveness, and through the small, consistent acts that build bridges instead of walls. When we think about love and compassion, it is easy to imagine grand gestures, sacrifices, declarations, dramatic acts of kindness. But in truth, the deepest expressions of compassion are often quiet and consistent. They are found in the way we listen, the way we speak, the way we choose to show up for someone, even in ordinary moments. Let us begin with listening. True listening is rare in today's world. Most of the time, when someone is speaking, we are already preparing our response, rehearsing our defense, or silently judging. But compassionate listening requires a different approach. It means putting aside our own agenda and giving the other person the gift of full attention. It is a form of mindfulness in action. Imagine your partner comes home angry and begins to vent. Your instinct might be to correct them, defend yourself, or shut down. But if you take a breath, look into their eyes and say, "I am here. Please tell me what's on your heart," something shifts. You are no longer two people fighting to be heard. You are one person listening and one person slowly releasing their pain. This act alone can transform conflict into connection. Speech, too, can either heal or harm. Words are powerful. They can cut deeper than knives or soothe more gently than medicine. The Buddha taught right speech, which means speaking in ways that are truthful, kind, and beneficial. Before speaking, we can pause and ask, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Even in moments of frustration, this pause can save relationships. A word spoken in anger may take years to undo. A word spoken with care can heal wounds instantly. Compassion also means forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing harm. It means releasing the grip that resentment has on our own hearts. Holding on to anger is like carrying a burning coal in your hand. You intend to throw it at someone else, but you are the one getting burned. When we forgive, we drop the coal. We free ourselves. Forgiveness begins with understanding. When we see that others act from their own suffering, it becomes easier to let go of the idea that they deliberately set out to hurt us. This does not excuse harmful behavior, but it opens the possibility of healing. And healing is what relationships need most. Daily life offers endless opportunities to practice compassion. In the workplace, compassion can mean taking a moment to acknowledge a coworker's effort, even if the results were imperfect. At home, it can mean putting away distractions when your child wants to show you something, no matter how small. In friendships, it can mean reaching out first, not waiting for the other to break the silence. Compassion also extends beyond those we know. The stranger who cuts us off in traffic, the cashier who seems impatient, the neighbor whose dog barks too loudly, each is a human being carrying unseen struggles. Instead of reacting with irritation, we can pause and offer silent understanding. May you be well. May you find peace. This simple practice, repeated often, softens our own hearts and changes the way we experience the world. Of course, compassion does not mean allowing others to mistreat us endlessly. Healthy relationships require boundaries. But boundaries, when set with compassion, are different from walls. Walls shut people out. Boundaries protect the relationship itself. For example, saying, "I need to step away right now because I don't want to say something hurtful," is a compassionate boundary. It respects both yourself and the other person. One powerful practice is to deliberately cultivate loving kindness, known in Buddhism as metta. This involves silently sending wishes of well-being, first to yourself, then to loved ones, then to neutral people, and finally even to those you find difficult. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Then, may you be safe. May you be happy. At first, it may feel mechanical, but over time, the heart softens. You begin to see others not as threats, but as fellow travelers, struggling and striving just like you. Another practice is mindful presence. Relationships often weaken not because of big betrayals, but because of small neglects. A distracted nod, a half-hearted reply, a habit of multitasking when someone speaks. These tiny moments accumulate into distance. Mindful presence reverses this. It means being fully there, even if only for a few minutes. Looking into someone's eyes, setting aside the phone, letting them feel that in this moment, they are the most important person in your world. This is how love is communicated, not by words alone, but by attention. Over time, compassion changes not only relationships, but also our own hearts. We discover that love is not a limited resource to be earned or lost. It is a natural capacity that grows the more we use it. The more we practice compassion, the less lonely we feel, because we realize we are deeply connected to others. The illusion of separateness fades. We see that every smile we offer, every kind word we speak, every patient silence we hold ripples outward, touching lives in ways we may never fully know. This is not idealistic. It is deeply practical. Families thrive when compassion flows. Workplaces become healthier. Friendships deepen. Even our own health improves, because resentment and anger poison the body while compassion heals it. Science confirms what wisdom has always known. Kindness is good not only for others, but for us. So the invitation is simple. In your next conversation, listen fully. In your next conflict, pause before speaking. In your next quiet moment, send a silent wish of well-being to someone, even someone who has hurt you. These are not small acts. They are seeds. And seeds, when tended with care, grow into strong trees of connection. As this chapter closes, remember, love is not just a feeling. It is a practice. And like any practice, it grows stronger with attention. Compassion and understanding are not abstract ideals. They are choices we make, breath by breath, word by word, moment by moment. In the next chapter, we will explore another pain point of modern life, the paradox of feeling deeply connected through technology, yet lonelier than ever before. And there, too, mindfulness can guide us to rediscover true belonging. Imagine sitting at a crowded cafe. Every table is full. People are laughing, typing on laptops, scrolling their phones. Music plays softly in the background. And yet, in the middle of all this noise and connection, a quiet ache pulses in the chest. You are surrounded by people, but you feel invisible. You scroll your own feed, hundreds of faces passing by, each a reminder of someone else's life. Smiling vacations, new promotions, happy families. And in that endless stream, a whisper rises. Why do I still feel alone? This is the paradox of our time. We are more connected than any generation before us. With a swipe, we can speak to someone across the globe. With a click, we can share our thoughts with thousands. And yet, studies show that loneliness has reached epidemic levels. In the United States, nearly half of adults report feeling isolated or left out. Technology promised belonging, but often delivered comparison, distraction, and distance. Loneliness is not simply being without people. It is being without connection. You can live in a house full of family, go to an office filled with coworkers, and still feel unknown. Loneliness is the absence of being truly seen. And in a digital age, where appearances often replace authenticity, that absence grows. Think of the hours spent curating online images. The perfect photo, the clever caption, the filter that hides the blemishes. All of it crafted to project a life worth admiring. But behind the screen, the truth may be very different: arguments, insecurities, exhaustion. We compare our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reels. No wonder we feel like we do not measure up. The more we chase approval, the lonelier we become, because no number of likes can replace the warmth of real presence. Asterisk, this loneliness is heavy. It seeps into nights when we lie awake, phone in hand, scrolling until our eyes burn. It appears in gatherings where everyone is together, but no one is truly there. It fuels the sense that we are separate islands, cut off from the world, destined to carry our burdens alone. But here is the radical truth taught by ancient wisdom. Separation is an illusion. The idea that we are isolated, self-contained beings is not reality. It is a misunderstanding. The Buddha described this through the insight of interbeing, the recognition that everything exists in relation to everything else. A flower is not just a flower. It contains sunshine, rain, soil, the work of the farmer, the breath of the observer. Nothing exists by itself. Everything is woven together in a vast web of life. And so it is with us. You are not just a single, lonely self. You are the product of countless conditions, the love of parents or teachers, the food grown by strangers, the language taught by generations. Before you, the air given by trees. In every moment, you are connected to everything. The loneliness we feel is not proof of isolation. It is proof that we have forgotten our belonging. Consider this. When you breathe in, the air you take enters. Your lungs becomes part of your blood, nourishes your cells. That air was once part of a tree, part of the sky, part of another being's breath. You are literally inhaling the world, and the world is exhaling through you. How can you ever be separate? This perspective shifts loneliness in a profound way. Instead of believing, I am alone in my pain, we see that suffering is universal. Everyone longs for love. Everyone fears loss. Everyone carries wounds. When we realize this, compassion awakens. We are not isolated islands. We are waves of the same ocean. The wave may rise and fall, but it is never separate from the sea. Yet knowing this intellectually is not enough. We must feel it, and mindfulness is the bridge. When you sit quietly and breathe, you begin to notice your body is not isolated. It is connected. The chair supports you. The floor holds the chair. The earth supports the floor. In a single moment of awareness, the illusion of separateness dissolves. Loneliness thrives when we live in distraction. It tells us we are alone, but never gives us space to see otherwise. Mindfulness, by bringing us fully into the present, reveals the connections already here. The sound of birds, the warmth of sunlight, the laughter of a child across the street. Each one is a thread linking us back to the web of life. This is not to deny the pain of loneliness. It is real and it hurts. But instead of treating loneliness as proof that something is wrong with us, we can see it as a signal, like hunger. Hunger tells us we need food. Loneliness tells us we need connection. And connection begins with presence with, showing up fully for ourselves and for others. So the invitation of this chapter is simple. When loneliness arises, pause, breathe, look around. Notice the life that supports you in this very moment. Touch the truth of interbeing, that you are part of something vast and alive. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You only need to remember Dot, and in the next part, we will explore practical ways to rediscover true belonging through mindful relationships, authentic communication, and the courage to step beyond screens into genuine connection. Loneliness does not vanish simply by adding more contacts to our phone or more followers to our feed. Connection is not measured in numbers, but in depth. One genuine conversation nourishes more than 100 casual exchanges. One moment of being fully seen heals more than hours of distracted company. The question is not, how many people are in my life, but how deeply am I connected to them? The first step is presence. When we are lonely, we often seek to escape it through distraction scrolling, binge watching, shopping. But true connection begins by turning toward the loneliness instead of away from it. Sit quietly, breathe, notice the ache in your chest. Instead of pushing it down, acknowledge it. This is loneliness. This is what it feels like. In that moment of recognition, loneliness softens because you are no longer abandoning yourself. Presence is the antidote to isolation. The second step is authenticity. In a culture of polished images, showing vulnerability feels risky. We fear rejection, so we hide behind masks. But masks cannot receive love only our true selves can. When you share honestly, even in small ways, you open the door to genuine connection. A simple admission, "I've been feeling a bit isolated lately," can break the illusion that everyone else is perfectly fine. More often than not, the person you open up to will sigh with relief and say, "Me too." Authentic communication requires courage, but it also requires listening. When someone shares, resist the urge to fix or judge. Simply listen, hold space. This simple act creates safety, and safety is the soil where intimacy grows. Another practice is intentional presence with others. In modern life, we often multitask our relationships, texting while talking, half listening while scrolling, nodding while our mind is elsewhere. But people can feel when they do not have our full attention. To counter this, choose moments of undivided presence. When you eat with someone, put the phone away. When you walk with a friend, listen more than you speak. When your child tells you a story, look them in the eyes. These small acts say, without words, "You matter. I see you." Community also matters. In ancient times, people lived in villages, surrounded by extended family. Today, many live far from relatives, in cities where anonymity is the norm. Rebuilding a sense of community requires effort. It may mean joining a meditation group, volunteering, attending local gatherings, or simply greeting neighbors. Community is not about quantity, but about shared presence. Even one or two people you meet regularly, with mindfulness and authenticity, can dissolve deep loneliness. Technology, though often blamed for isolation, can also be transformed into a tool for connection. Instead of endless scrolling, use it mindfully. Send a heartfelt message to one person instead of posting to hundreds. Schedule video calls where you give undivided attention. Share something real instead of something polished. The tool is neutral. It is our use that determines whether it deepens or diminishes connection. From a Buddhist perspective, the deepest cure for loneliness is the realization of interbeing. When we touch this truth, even sitting alone becomes an experience of connection. Drinking tea, we connect with the rain that nourished the leaves, the farmers who harvested them, the sun that warmed the soil. Walking outside, we feel the earth holding our steps, the trees offering oxygen, the sky sheltering us. In this awareness, the world itself becomes our companion. Loneliness gives way to belonging. One simple practice is to pause during the day and silently acknowledge the connections that sustain you. When eating bread, think, this bread contains the work of farmers, the sun, the rain, the soil, the baker, the hands that delivered it. When breathing, think, this air is a gift from the trees, from the earth, from countless beings before me. In these moments, you realize you are never alone. You are part of a vast network of life. Compassion practices can also transform loneliness. When you feel isolated, send loving kindness to others. May you be happy. May you feel safe. May you know love. At first, it may feel strange, but over time, it awakens the truth that your heart is not separate. The more you give love, the more you feel love flowing through you. Loneliness shrinks because you realize you are not waiting for love to come. You are generating it. Of course, building connection takes time. Trust grows slowly, especially if you have been hurt before. But each act of presence, each moment of authenticity, each practice of mindfulness plants a seed. Seeds take time to sprout, but eventually they bloom into relationships of depth and meaning. And sometimes the path begins with offering connection rather than waiting to receive it. Reach out, smile at a stranger, ask a coworker how they are truly doing. Send a kind message without expecting one back. These gestures may seem small, but they ripple outward, often returning in unexpected ways. Loneliness tells us to withdraw, but healing comes from reaching God. As this part closes, remember, loneliness is not proof of your inadequacy. It is a call to remember your belonging. You belong to this earth, to this moment, to the web of life that holds you. And through mindful presence, authentic sharing, and compassionate action, you can transform loneliness into connection, isolation into belonging. In the next chapter, we will explore another trap of modern life, the endless pursuit of achievement and productivity, where people measure their worth by what they accomplish, only to find the hunger never ends. There, too, ancient wisdom offers a liberating paradox. Asterisk, the alarm goes off. Before your eyes are fully open, your mind is already racing. Deadlines, meetings, emails, the presentation due next week, the project behind schedule, the silent pressure that whispers, you need to do more. You need to be more. You grab your phone and check your notifications. A flood of demands waiting for you. The day hasn't begun, but already you feel behind. This is the reality for millions. We live in a culture that glorifies productivity, where busyness is worn like a badge of honor. How are you? We ask. Busy, comes the proud reply. To be busy is to be important, to be valuable, to be safe. The unspoken belief is clear. If you are not producing, not achieving, not climbing higher, You are falling behind. In workplaces. Across the country, employees push themselves past exhaustion, chasing performance targets that move like shifting goalposts. Students sacrifice sleep to maintain grades that prove their worth. Parents juggle careers and family, never feeling they do enough in either role. Social media adds another layer, showcasing highlight reels of others' achievements, promotions, awards, milestones that make our own lives feel insufficient. The result is a constant chase. We run faster, work longer, pile more onto our schedules. We download apps to maximize efficiency, listen to podcasts on productivity hacks, read books on how to crush it. Yet despite all this effort, the finish line keeps moving. Each goal achieved is quickly replaced by the next. There is no rest, only the demand to keep proving ourselves. And beneath the surface, a quiet despair grows. Burnout spreads like wildfire. People wake in the night with pounding hearts, thinking of tasks unfinished. They sit at their desks numb, drained of energy, but still pushing because stopping feels dangerous. Rest is seen as laziness. Leisure becomes guilt. Even vacations are filled with laptops and conference calls, as if the world might collapse if we truly let go. But here's the painful truth. No amount of achievement can fill the emptiness inside. You can climb the ladder of success, only to find it leaning against the wrong wall. You can check every box, earn every degree, hit every target, and still feel the whisper. It's not enough. Because the hunger is not really for accomplishment, it is for worthiness. And worthiness cannot be won by productivity. The Buddha saw this long ago, though the costumes of suffering were different in his time. He noticed that humans are trapped in cycles of striving, always grasping for something beyond the present moment, believing happiness lies just over the next hill. This cycle, he taught, is endless. It is like drinking salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. Think about the last time you achieved something you longed for: a promotion, a diploma, a completed project. For a moment, the joy was real. But soon after, a new hunger arose. What's next? The satisfaction faded, leaving you chasing again. This is the trap of achievement. It gives temporary highs, but never lasting fulfillment. Our culture amplifies this trap by equating identity with productivity. We introduce ourselves by what we do. I'm a lawyer, I'm a teacher, I'm a manager. But what happens when the job is lost, when retirement comes, when performance slips? If we are only what we achieve, then without constant productivity, who are we? This fear keeps us running, terrified of stopping, terrified of being unworthy. The irony is that this endless striving often makes us less effective, not more. Exhaustion dulls creativity. Stress narrows focus. The very chase for productivity robs us of the clarity and presence needed to truly excel. Like a hamster on a wheel, we run furiously but go nowhere, and yet we rarely pause to question it. A current is strong, pulling us forward. Everyone else is running, so we assume we must run too. To step off the wheel feels rebellious, even dangerous. What if we fall behind? What if we are forgotten? What if we fail? This is where ancient wisdom offers a radical alternative. Instead of measuring life by achievements, it invites us to measure it by presence. Instead of asking, "What have I produced?" it asks, "How deeply have I lived this moment?" The Buddha taught that true freedom comes not from striving to become, but from realizing we already are. This does not mean abandoning goals or refusing to work. It means shifting the foundation of our identity. Productivity becomes something we do, not something we are. Work becomes an expression of our gifts, not the measure of our value. Success becomes a byproduct of presence, not the source of worth. Imagine approaching your day not as a battle to prove yourself, but as an opportunity to live fully. Writing an email with awareness. attending a meeting with presence, completing a task with care. Each action, no matter how small, becomes meaningful when infused with mindfulness. You are no longer running to escape inadequacy. You are walking in alignment with who you already are. Of course, the skeptical mind may resist. If I stop pushing, I'll fall behind. If I stop striving, I'll fail. But what if the opposite is true? What if letting go of constant pressure actually makes you more effective? Rest restores creativity. Presence sharpens focus. Compassion builds trust. By stepping out of the trap of endless striving, you not only reclaim peace, you often perform better because your actions flow from clarity, not desperation. As we close this first part, remember, the race of productivity is endless, but life itself is finite. To spend it always chasing, never arriving, is the greatest loss of all. The invitation is to pause, to see the trap clearly, and to consider that your worth is not measured by output, but by presence. In the next part, we will explore the paradox of not seeking, how letting go of the desperate chase can reveal the completeness already within you, offering a deeper freedom than any achievement could ever provide. There is a paradox at the heart of human striving. The more we chase happiness, the further it seems to slip away. We believe that if we achieve one more goal, earn one more promotion, or complete one more task, we will finally arrive at peace. And yet, the moment we reach it, another desire appears. The chase begins again. The Buddha described this cycle as tanha craving. He saw that craving is like a fire that can never be satisfied by feeding it. Each accomplishment is like throwing wood on the flames. It burns brighter for a moment, but then demands more. True peace, he taught, comes not from feeding the fire, but from letting it die down. This is the paradox of not seeking. It is the radical idea that what you are searching for is already here. You do not need to become someone else, achieve more, or fix every flaw to be complete. Completeness is not a distant goal, it is your very nature. The problem is not that we lack it, but that we are too busy chasing to notice it. Think of a person searching frantically for their glasses, tearing apart the house, only to realize the glasses are already on their head. Or imagine someone rushing to find their phone while it rests in their pocket. In the same way, we search desperately for peace, worth, and happiness, not realizing they are already present within us. The practice is not to seek harder, but to stop and see clearly. But what does this look like in daily life? It begins with slowing down. Instead of rushing through tasks as if life begins after they are done, we pause and actually live within them. Washing dishes becomes an act of mindfulness, feeling the warmth of the water, the movement of the hands, the simple miracle that we have food to eat and dishes to clean. Walking becomes not a race to the destination, but a dance. With the present each step, a chance to feel alive. This is not laziness. It is not giving up ambition. It is shifting the foundation from which we act. Instead of chasing to prove our worth, we act from the awareness that we are already worthy. From this place, work becomes lighter, relationships become deeper, life becomes richer. We still set goals, but we are no longer enslaved by them. Consider the story of a musician. At first, they practice tirelessly, believing their worth is measured by skill. But the greatest beauty of music comes not when they obsess over perfection, but when they lose themselves in the song, simply playing. In that moment, they are not striving, they are being. And in being, the music flows naturally. Life is like this. When we stop grasping, stop trying to control every note, we discover a harmony that was always present. Another way to understand this paradox is through rest. Rest is often seen as the opposite of productivity, but in truth, rest is where life renews itself. Trees do not grow endlessly upward. They have seasons of stillness. Oceans have tides of rise and fall. Our own breath is a cycle of inhaling and exhaling. If we only inhaled, we would suffocate. Life is balance. By resting, by pausing, by not constantly striving, we align with the natural rhythm of existence. Mindfulness is the gateway to this way of being. Each time you stop and breathe, you remind yourself, I do not need to become anything else in this moment. I am already here. I am already enough. This awareness is deeply liberating. It does not erase responsibilities, but it removes the unnecessary suffering of believing we are incomplete. The skeptical mind may still resist. If I stop seeking, won't I become stagnant? Won't I fail? But the truth is the opposite. When we let go of desperate striving, we act more wisely. Decisions come not from fear of inadequacy, but from clarity of purpose. Actions are more effective because they are rooted in presence, not panic. The paradox of not seeking is that it actually brings us closer to what we truly long for: peace, joy, and meaningful connection. You can experiment with this in small ways. The next time you finish a task, instead of rushing to the next, pause, breathe, notice the satisfaction of completion. Let yourself rest in the present before moving on. Or the next time you walk outside, instead of thinking about where you're going, feel the air on your skin, the ground beneath your feet, the sky above. Let yourself belong to this moment without needing to get anywhere else. These small pauses are powerful. They interrupt the cycle of endless becoming and reveal the fullness of simply being in relationships. 2. Not seeking changes everything. Instead of demanding others fill our emptiness, we meet them from a place of wholeness. We no longer chase love as a prize to prove our worth, but offer love freely because we already feel enough. This transforms relationships from contracts of need into dances of generosity. The paradox of not seeking is not about passivity, it is about freedom. Freedom from the illusion that happiness lies somewhere else. Freedom from the belief that you are unfinished. Freedom from the exhausting chase of proving yourself. And from that freedom, life unfolds naturally. Goals may still be pursued, but without desperation. Work may still be done, but with joy. Love may still be sought, but with openness, not fear. Asterisk as this chapter closes, remember, you are not incomplete. You do not need to run endlessly to earn your worth. The treasure you seek is already within you, waiting to be noticed. Each breath, each moment, each heartbeat is proof of your completeness. In the next chapter, we will turn toward one of the deepest human fears: aging, illness, and death. These are the truths we often avoid, yet they hold the key to the deepest liberation when seen with wisdom. There is a moment that comes for everyone, though we spend much of our lives trying to avoid it. A wrinkle in the mirror that wasn't there before. A body that doesn't recover from exhaustion as quickly as it once did. A doctor's diagnosis that brings a chill to the heart. A funeral of someone close, reminding us in a whisper, one day it will be me. Aging, illness, and death are the great equalizers of life. No matter how much money we earn, no matter how successful we become, no matter how carefully we plan, time continues its silent work. Hair turns gray, joints stiffen, energy fades. Bodies once strong become fragile. And death, which we try so hard not to think about, waits patiently, certain and unavoidable. In modern society, especially in the West, this reality is often hidden. We celebrate youth, vitality, and achievement, but quietly push away anything that reminds us of mortality. Nursing homes are filled with elders rarely visited. Hospitals become the places where death is sanitized, hidden from view. Advertisements promise anti-aging creams, miracle diets, fitness regimes, all designed to hold back the inevitable. But no matter how hard we fight, the truth remains. Everything that is born must one day end. And this truth terrifies us. We do not want to lose our health, our loved ones, our own existence. The thought of disappearing of no longer being creates a deep unease. For some, it leads to frantic attempts at control obsessive health routines, relentless pursuit of medical fixes, denial of aging. For others, it breeds quiet despair, a shadow lingering beneath daily life. Even when not conscious, this fear shapes our choices, our priorities, our restlessness. Consider the way illness affects us. A sudden flu, a chronic pain, or a serious diagnosis all remind us that we are not invincible. The body we take for granted can betray us. For many, this creates frustration. Why now? Why me? Illness not only weakens the body, but also unsettles the mind, challenging our illusion of permanence. And when we see a loved one suffer, the helplessness can feel unbearable. Death, most of all, feels like the ultimate loss. We cannot imagine a world without us in it. We cannot imagine letting go of those we love most. Grief is the price of attachment, and because we love deeply, we grieve deeply. Funerals become moments of reckoning, where time stops, and we are forced to face what we usually avoid. In the United States, many people fear even speaking of death, as if naming it might summon it closer. Euphemisms like passed away or gone to a better place soften the blow, but they also hide the reality. Without facing it, fear festers. And when fear festers, it steals the joy of living. The irony is that in our refusal to face aging, illness, and death, we often suffer more. We live in denial, chasing eternal youth, clinging to health as if it will never change, avoiding conversations about mortality. But this denial does not protect us. It only makes the eventual truth more shocking, more painful when it arrives. The Buddha called this fundamental suffering dukkha. He observed that sickness, old age, and death are woven into the fabric of existence. To deny them is to deny reality. And yet, he also taught that freedom comes not from resisting these truths, but from seeing them clearly. Imagine this: you are standing on the shore, watching waves rise and fall. If you believed a wave could stay forever, you would panic when it began to fall. But when you understand that rising and falling is the nature of waves, you no longer suffer. You may still feel sadness, but you accept it as part of the ocean's rhythm. In the same way, life's rhythm includes birth and death, health and sickness, youth and age. Facing impermanence is not meant to depress us. On the contrary, it can awaken us. When we truly see that time is fleeting, that bodies are fragile, that nothing is guaranteed, we begin to value the present. Each smile, each meal, each conversation becomes precious. Instead of taking life for granted, we see it as a gift. This shift of perspective can transform fear into appreciation. The wrinkle in the mirror becomes a reminder of years lived, of laughter and tears that shaped us. The illness becomes a teacher, urging us to care for the body with compassion rather than frustration. Even the awareness of death becomes a call to live more fully, to love more deeply, to let go of petty resentments. But this wisdom is not easy to grasp when fear is strong. That is why mindfulness is essential. By sitting quietly with our breath, we practice facing impermanence in small ways. Each inhale rises, each exhale falls. A breath is born, a breath dies. By observing this simple truth, we train the heart to accept change. Over time, we learn that change is not an enemy. It is life itself. As this first part closes, remember, aging, illness, and death are not punishments. They are natural laws. We suffer not because of them, but because we resist them. The path to freedom begins by looking directly at what we fear most and discovering that within impermanence lies a deeper kind of peace. In the next part, we will explore how to embrace this truth fully, how understanding impermanence can dissolve fear, transform grief, and open us to a vision of death not as an end, but as a continuation of life in new forms. If we dare to look directly at impermanence, something surprising happens. Fear begins to soften. What we once saw as an enemy, aging, illness, death, becomes a teacher. Instead of resisting life's changes, we learn to flow with them, and in that flow, a deeper peace arises. The Buddha often encouraged his students to contemplate impermanence daily, not to frighten them, but to free them. By remembering that everything changes, we stop clinging so desperately. The wrinkle in the mirror becomes less of a threat, more of a reminder, I am alive today. The illness becomes less of a curse, more of an invitation to care for ourselves gently. Death itself, when seen clearly, becomes less of a terrifying abyss and more of a natural continuation. Think of a candle flame. It burns brightly for a time, then goes out. But where does the flame go? It has not disappeared into nothing. It has transformed heat rising into the air, light absorbed into the room, wax melting into new forms. Death is like that. When a person passes, their energy, their love, their influence do not vanish. They continue in countless ways, through children, through memories, through the impact they left on others, through the very molecules that return to the earth and sky. Continuation, not annihilation. This insight dissolves some of the terror of death. We realize we are not isolated beings doomed to vanish, but expressions of a greater whole. Just as a wave rises and falls, but never leaves the ocean, we too are part of a vast, continuous flow of life. When the wave called you subsides, the ocean remains, and you remain within it in new forms. But how do we live this truth, not just think about it? Through mindfulness and meditation, we practice touching impermanence in daily life. Every breath teaches us this. Inhale, exhale, arising, passing. Every flower teaches it, blooming, fading, returning to the soil. Every sunset whispers it, light, darkness, light again. The more we attune ourselves to this rhythm, the less shocking change becomes. Impermanence is no longer an intruder. It is a friend we have known all along. Another practice is gratitude. When we accept that nothing lasts forever, every moment becomes precious. The hug from a loved one, the laughter around a dinner table, even the ordinary routines all shine brighter when we remember they are not guaranteed. Gratitude does not deny loss, but it transforms fear into appreciation. Instead of mourning the inevitability of endings, we celebrate the miracle of beginnings happening right now. Asterisk, consider how this shifts grief. When someone we love dies, the pain is real. But alongside the pain, we can see their continuation in the smile of their child, in the stories they told, in the habits they left us, in the way we live differently because of them. Death ends a life, but it does not end love. Love continues. And when we see this, grief, while still heavy, carries within it seeds of healing. Illness, too, can be transformed. Instead of seeing the body's fragility as betrayal, we can see it as truth. The body was never meant to last forever. Its changes remind us to care for it with compassion, to listen to it, to honor it while we have it. And when illness brings limitations, it can also bring clarity. What really matters? Suddenly, the small annoyances fall away, and love, presence, and kindness rise to the center. Aging becomes not just decline, but ripening. Just as fruit matures into sweetness, life ripens into wisdom. Wrinkles tell stories of laughter and tears. Slower steps invite mindfulness. The years behind us become a treasury of lessons to share. If we view aging not as loss, but as transformation, fear softens into reverence. Underlying all of this is the realization that clinging is the root of suffering. We fear death because we cling to life as if it were ours to keep forever. We fear aging because we cling to youth. We fear illness because we cling to control. But when we loosen our grip, life becomes lighter. We still value it, but we no longer demand it to be unchanging. And in that release, we discover freedom. This freedom does not mean indifference. It means living more fully. Knowing time is limited makes us cherish it. Knowing health is fragile makes us care for it. Knowing relationships are impermanent makes us love more fiercely, forgive more quickly, and waste less time on resentment. Impermanence, far from stealing joy, actually deepens it.